So hey guys, welcome to another video, and today I want to talk about the possibility of Blizzard abandoning Legion for the expansion after that, the same way they abandoned Warlords for Legion. And why would I say something like that? Well, it's because of this arbitrary limit of one expansion per year, which I still think is a suicide. I mean, even the studio responsible for Call of Duty realized that releasing Call of Duty every year is a suicide, and they ended up ping-ponging Call of Duty between two different studios. And that's a first-person shooter. All they have to do is sell the box. They don't have to satisfy people after they bought the box. But with WoW, they have to support the current expansion, otherwise it's going to be Warlords of Draenor all over again. And at the same time, the next expansion has to be ready for Christmas that year. And if they do it this way, they will have 1 year to create another expansion. An entire expansion within 1 year. Do you really think they're not going to cut corners on it? Because they have to create the expansion, iron everything out, do beta and release it within 1 year. That's impossible. The only way this is possible is when you're supporting the current expansion, you are ironing everything out and you're running beta for the expansion that's supposed to be released this year, and you're already working on the expansion that's supposed to be released next year. And while this can be done, and I believe that they have big enough team to actually do this, the problem is feedback. Things can't change in an expansion because they're doing it so far in advance. Let's look at Warlords of Draenor. 6.0 added Apexis crystals. Did people like them? No, people hated them, so people gave them feedback. But in 6.1, they allowed us to do more Apexis dailies. So people gave them feedback again. People said, we don't like it. And in 6.2, more Apexis dailies. And Ian said it himself that, we're sorry about the Apexis dailies in 6.2, but we already had them done. We made all of this in advance. And that's the only way they can manage to get one expansion out every year if they make everything in advance. But that makes feedback for the expansion kind of pointless. Because if we don't like something in Legion, it's not going to change. It's going to change in the expansion after Legion. And if they can't change anything in the current expansion because it's all worked out in advance, what's the point of supporting it? When they can't do anything, they can't change anything, all they can do is fix shit. And they're not even doing that with Warlords. I mean, it's been like 10 months, right? With Warlord, something like that, something around 10 months. And when I'm playing my Paladin, I disconnect every time I'm trying to enter my garrison. I run through the door, the game spazzes out, crashes, and then I log in and I'm in my garrison. It's not been fixed. Or archaeology dig sites. I can almost guarantee it that if you look at your map and you look at all the dig sites, at least one of those dig sites is twisted and it can't be completed because it has fragments outside of the dig site. Or the shipyard table. Sometimes I go down to my shipyard and I can't click on the command table. It just doesn't work. And I am not the only one. People are reporting stuff like this all the time and they're not fixing it. Which means that, well, they just abandoned Warlords and they're working on Legion, and maybe they're working on the expansion after that. And why should we believe that they're not going to do the same thing with Legion? Because it's the same as Warlords. They have everything planned out, and within 1 year of the expansion release, they have to release another expansion. And what if something is utterly fucked up? They don't have enough time to fix it. So do we have to wait for the next expansion to fix it? That doesn't sound very good. I think they're just making it harder for themselves by saying, okay, we're going to release one expansion every year. That's bad for everyone. We can't give them feedback because by the time our feedback takes effect, it's been like a year. So it's pointless to give them feedback at all. And what if something happens during the development of the expansion? Are they going to cut corners left, right, and center just to give us an expansion that year? Are we eventually going to pay 50 euros for an expansion with 3 zones because, oops, we fucked up? And the half-assation, that's a word now, of content is already happening. Look at the story of Warlords.
Draenor is free, and somehow I am a good guy.
What happened there? There was supposed to be something that happened after this. Or something else should have happened. But because we gotta release an expansion very soon, because of this fucking arbitrary limit that we impose on ourselves, Cut it short. We can't have the full thing. Or the stupid explanation behind Archimond. Is it the same Archimond we fought in Hyjal? Well, he's a demon, and he's anchored to the twisting nether, and they transcend all realities and all manners of time. Well, excuse me, but does that mean that Archimond just jumps through time and space to kill an infinite amount of Prophet Velens and Draenei? What a stupid fucking explanation. We all know it's because, well, we had Grommash for the last boss, but then we had to cut it short because of the next expansion, so we just decided to have Archimond. I'm done. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.